But speaking of quarterbacks, Bears GM, I thought today we would get a little bit more info on the Alan Williams situation, defensive coordinator who was fired or who left the team a day ago saying, I'm going to spend time with my family. He had been away from the team for a few days. Reports that Hallis Hall was raided, and then those reports were debunked, and then we find out today that, no, it was Williams' home that was raided, not Hallis Hall. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so the original...
It's been crazy.
Thing that sent Twitter abuzz yesterday was both the home and the Hallis Hall offices. Yeah. That throws away. And then you get McAfee on his show citing sources that Williams opened and read. Nobody's jumped out to say that that's categorically not true. Or at least I hadn't seen anything as the day wore on. Because certainly the Bears aren't talking about it anymore. Nope, he's gone. Nothing to see here.
So that happened, and we're still waiting to hear that. But then we get a press conference from Ryan Poles, Bears GM, who decided, okay, there's too much stuff going on. I need to say some things here. So he said, we're still waiting for information on the Alan Williams part of it. Okay, that's fine. We understand that. I don't want to say anything until we get it because who knows? When the FBI raids somebody's house, man, that's okay.
In the end, you don't want to be on the hook for legal reasons, right? As a reporter, as a talk show, whatever else. And certainly for the Bears, you just want to sit there and say nothing to see here.
But then Poles addressed the Justin Fields situation, who a day ago said, hey, the coaching that's done here, I'm thinking too much about the coaching. I need to just have that happen during the week and then go out and play on Sunday. It's too much in my head. The coaches, I'm getting a lot, and it's a lot to process. I'm not playing like I know I can play. So this is Justin Fields basically saying, hey, I don't really want to be coached this way anymore, and now things are bad between he and Eberflus and everybody else. But Ryan Poles decides today to say, wait a minute, let me try to pour some cold water on this and tell you that, hey, yeah, things are tough right now. However, everybody loves Justin Fields.
We have adversity right now. Slow start, 0-2, not where you want to be. We've dealt with life issues, injuries, and that's all real, and that's a part of what we do and what we got to deal with. In terms of Justin, I can't be more clear than this. No one in our entire building, none of our coaches, see Justin as a finger pointer at all. He has always taken ownership of anything that's happened on the field. He works with his teammates, works with his coaches to find solution.
Except at his press conference yesterday. So everybody's trying to make nice because they know for the next few weeks they have to all make it work together. We told you yesterday, by the time we get to the trade deadline, by the time we get to that point, something's going to happen because it's now Justin Fields versus Eberflus and the coaching staff. Either Eberflus is going to get fired or Fields is going to get benched. That's what's going to happen, right? This is where this is headed. This is where it's all going right now. Justin Fields decides, I want to get this out here. This is what I want to do at quarterback. It's my career, and if I have to go someplace else after this year, I want to go out my way. And this is Eberflus trying to hold on to whatever cachet he still has because another couple of losses, and everybody's going to want him fired. But it's going to be Fields is on the bench or Eberflus is going to be fired. That's how this is going to end. But let me just say this, because this is a situation that didn't need to happen. Why? Because every team makes the same mistake with quarterbacks when they bring them into the NFL, is that they all think that a quarterback coming in, hey, yeah, he's good, but we need to teach him really, really deeply how to do X, how to do this. We got to teach him how to do it. And in this case, it's we want Justin Fields to be in the pocket. We want him to be able to read defenses, want him to stay in the pocket more longer and complete passes. I understand that. That's the stupidest thing you can do to a quarterback coming out of college now. Quarterbacks come out of college now full-formed, right? They come out as this is the player they are. They've been succeeding playing this way their entire life. They succeeded in college playing this way. It's the reason they are top picks in the NFL draft. What you can do in college, throwing the football, running the football, right? This is how you come in. And yet every quarterback and every player that I see fail, that I can look at a team saying, we tried to teach him to do, we want him to do this way more. That's always going to fail. And teams are stupid. When quarterbacks come into the league, you can bang out the dents in their game. I'm not saying they can't be taught, they can't be molded a little bit. You can bang out the dents. But that's as far as you can go. Because Justin Fields is successful because of the way he played at Ohio State. So you want him to do that in the NFL. It's what he brought him success all the way through. Now you say, okay, we're going to take away the instinctiveness that you use that makes you a good player, and we're going to make you into something else, right? The Ravens been trying to do it with Lamar Jackson, and he hasn't sniffed his MVP form, right? Because teams, you can't do this if you're a head coach. You have to let the guy be who he is and kind of bang out the dents. And if this means he's a quarterback for 5 years, then he's a quarterback for 5 years. Better a really great quarterback for 5 years than a guy you try to change and in 3 years is out of the league. Because that's what's going to happen to Justin Fields if you continue to try to turn him into something that he's not. You got to let a guy be who he is. This is not 1983 or 1989 where a guy comes out and says, hey, you played at a small school. We need to teach you footwork and all these things. You're either the way you are or you're not. The Jets, the same thing with Zach Wilson. We're going to teach you all these different things. Guess what? Zach Wilson is not nearly the quarterback he was in college because the Jets decided to say, just don't suck, and it's not working. Any team that tries to change a quarterback too much, it never works. And Justin Fields is the latest guy for that example, and this is on the Bears. Let me play. Okay, so now they should let him play. Let him play and let him do his thing and see how it goes. Just like Al Pacino on Any Given Sunday says at the end, when Aaron Eckhart wants to call in all these different plays and all this stuff, and Al Pacino goes, let the kid do his thing. Right? And Aaron Eckhart goes, it's not about the kid in this thing. Let the kid do his thing. Confidence in the player to do what they can do to their best extent. That's what teams need to do with quarterbacks, and yet I see it all the time. From the three guys I just talked about, and now you're seeing it with Justin Fields.
Yeah, I mean, there's certainly a bit to the refinement of it. And for Lamar Jackson, right, the expansion of your game to where you can operate more efficiently and effectively through the pocket, right, as opposed to one read and gone. But you can't eliminate it, right? It's the old rule of thumb of, all right, my offense, and let's layer it over the top and you will mold into it. No, it's what does your quarterback do well, right? Yes, they finished with a terrible record and we had the number 1 overall pick. But there were a lot of things I think anybody watching the Bears last year would have said, all right, there's some positive stuff from Justin Fields to work with. Now you try to, all right, let's layer, let's add on. Well, they didn't get a lot done in the preseason at all, in the workouts, in camp, and certainly in preseason games. So trying to get timing with DJ Moore and all these other players, not going to happen. And I saw the great yelling factories today of the Bears and the, use whatever terms you will. It's like, yeah, that's nothing that we haven't been saying for 40 years in Chicago, except for a couple of outliers in terms of how the organization's been run. So nothing new here. Welcome aboard for if you haven't been paying attention. But the larger thing is looking at the tape. And again, I watched it again, so you didn't have to. And people can cherry pick a couple of plays. He's had time in the pocket.
Yeah.
Consistently.
Yeah.
And what's interesting in all of this is you've lost your left tackle for the year, and it's such an afterthought to what the games are, and you've got Kansas City this week and whatever. But you could see the paralysis by analysis, just not getting rid of the football.
No.
So
and what would you rather have? Would you rather have him in the pocket throwing an incomplete pass, or would you rather have him tucking it under a couple seconds too early and gaining 8 yards?
But he's not even throwing the incomplete pass.
Right?
He's taking a sack.
Right? What would you rather have him do? Hey, take off with the football. Do your thing. Right? It's a result-oriented business. You would have better results letting him do his thing. Again, bang out the dents. You can't change a guy. You can't change a quarterback.
Right. He's been great in the red zone. He's been great downfield, but you're not calling those plays, the downfield throws. You're not getting him out to the edge, just like last year.
Yeah.
Right? They started the same way last year. Hey, you stay within the pocket, stay confined. No. Call some design rollouts. Get him on the edge, and then he can look downfield. If it's not there, he runs and picks up the first down, live to fight another series of downs. It's just silliness.